Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here. Welcome back to some more EVE Online, and in today's video I'm continuing the series about all the dev blogs that are being released concerning the industry changes that are coming. So let's go for the browsers and let's go for dev blogs. As you can see, I'm also lagging behind a little bit, but the next one I want to cover is the price of change, and it's a pretty big one. Basically, CCP is going to add a serious price scaling mechanic into producing and researching anything. In exchange for that, all the slots are going to go away, so there is no longer a limit to how many jobs can be done from a station or from a system or anything like that. But the more is being produced in one system, the more expensive it's going to become. And so in this way, they want to for one part they want to attract people together in systems that are very lucrative for manufacturing. Some of them have some very nice bonuses, and on the other hand they also want to keep a handle on how many people stay in a single system to produce stuff, so that they can actually force people to spread out a little bit. Just so that not everyone stays around the very same systems to produce everything. That would not be the idea. And of course, with slots going away, you know, slots was really the bottleneck that was keeping everyone from manufacturing right next door to JITA. For instance, you would get some ridiculous wait times if you would do that. And now instead, of course, the price is just going to go higher and higher, and people that do actually fan out will have a better price for their manufacturing and will thus have more profit. Let me have a quick look here at how they're going to do that. First of all, they're going to create a base price for any industrial activity for a run cost that is going to be the price of the output times a formula for the fraction of global job hours, and I think that's in one system. So depending on how many jobs are going in a single system, the price is going to go up, and they're currently looking at somewhere in between 1 to 14% of the I think it's the cost of everything that you're putting into the slot, not the output price. Here it says price of output. So yeah, it's probably going to be price of output, but it could also be, of course, all the minerals, for instance, that you put in your job in order to create the item. So that's one part of it. After that, there are going to be a lot of pricing modifiers, and this is going to be pretty damn complex. But for instance, you have something called team costs. Choosing to hire a specialized team will come with a cost. This will be explained in the next dev blog about the new teams, but you can apparently hire different types of teams, which might give you some bonuses or maybe speed or give you something extra, but it's going to cost you extra, and that's going to be a multiplier or a modifier that's going to be applied on this base cost. Same with system facilities. So stations in a given system make a job cheaper. We want to ensure that the landscape is lumpy rather than flat, and it makes sense that systems with more station and more factory and research stations in particular are better places to do specialized work. So again, if you're in a system with a lot of stations or a lot of research slots available in the current situation, that is going to give you an extra bonus in the form of a reduction of the base price. There will be some kind of Starbase bonus. They're just not sure if this is going to be done at launch of the expansion yet, but they are looking into doing that so that people are encouraged to actually produce from Starbases. A multi-run discount, so that means that if you're putting the same BPC multiple times or for multiple runs, you will get a discount as well to the base price. Outpost and faction warfare upgrades. At the moment, if I understand this correctly, you can upgrade your outposts, and this creates extra slots for you to produce from, with slots going the way of the dodo. The upgrades for outposts and faction warfare are going to just decrease the base price of installing a job. And then finally, taxes. So the MPC owned facilities will levy a 10% tax on top of everything else. So that's going to be interesting. If this is not applied in a POS, that's already a pretty big advantage. And here at the end of the dev block, you can see this is keep in mind, all of this is subject to change. None of these numbers are really set in stone just yet. But here, for instance, you had a baseline job cost of 100,000 ISK, which was 1% of the value of the goods created. Yeah, so it does look like it's going to be the output that's going to determine the price. And then here you can see all of the modifiers. So plus 28% for cost of labor from manufacturing in JITA, minus 30% for manufacturing facilities in JITA. So if there's enough station, they get 13% discount. Minus 8% for facilities at Studio 54 Starbase. I guess that's like your POS discount. Minus 6% for economies of scale over multiple runs. So more jobs in one go will also reduce the price. And then for instance, 40% increase for hiring Team Awesome, a specialized team. That will probably give you some bonuses. And then again, finally here, a 10% increase due to taxes charged by Facility Foxy. So I'm not sure if that means that the taxes will be applied from a POS as well. I also read that they're toying with the idea that a corporation could set the taxes at a certain rate, so that it would be paid to the corp wallet, and in this way they could maybe get a little bit of extra income from industrial activities inside the corp-owned POSes. And I actually think that this is going to be the end for my cycle. Yes, it is. So let's start another one like that. Let's see, wrap up and examples, and that's it really. There are a fair number of potential variables to be sure, but they won't usually all apply at once, and they all just multiply together to get the final number. We think this meets our balance goals. Introduces some interesting decisions for players to grapple with and result in prices that are relevant without being overpowering. On that note, let's have a look at an example, and then they provide some examples from the costs depending on what system it is. So for manufacturing, the largest build costs came up to 15% in Saisio. I actually think that this is going to be from the test server, because JITA coming in at the 106 place at 4%, that's probably not from TQ. But yeah, it's a very interesting change. It's going to be, in my opinion, a huge ISK sink. This base price is going to be based on a percentage of the price output, of the output that you create. That in itself is a lot more than what's going on at the moment. Here, for instance, I am producing 2 orcas, I'm sorry, before the expansion hits, and just manufacturing stuff like capital sensor cluster blueprints costs 1000 ISK per unit. This is going to be way more expensive when this change hits. So on top of that, of course, the more is being produced in one system, the higher this base price is going to be, and after that all of these different modifications can be made to the prices depending on the exact system and facility you create it from. But this is still going to be a percentage of the total value of the goods created that is going to go to the ISK sink, and so this will I think have a drastic impact on the economy. CCP was, I think I read in the comments that they're expecting something like a 1% increase in price. Honestly, I think it's going to be higher than that, because yeah, the lowest base price was around 1%, and if you look at some of the extras here, this could scale up quite a lot if people don't spread out very evenly or go to almost empty systems. So I would not be surprised that the actual increase in costs is going to be quite high. Of course, this will be charged to the people actually buying the products, and so this will mean higher prices for pretty much anything that's being produced in EVE Online. On the other hand, this does mean a serious ISK sink, so this dev block, I'm not sure, but it could just be what is going to trigger a sell-off in Plexus. If you agree with me that this is going to be a huge ISK sink, this should definitely stall inflation, and if it comes down to it, this could even reduce the amount of ISK in the game by a significant enough margin that enough people right now will still try to sell their Plexus for 720 million ISK before this hits. And so this could have the impact that I've been waiting for on Plexus. This is just my analysis, of course. This is all trying to gaze into the future and what all of these changes will mean. But to me, yeah, this means an increase in prices for pretty much all goods and services like copying and researching. Manufacturing of any chip, any module is going to go up in price. On the other hand, this should reduce inflation for ISK, and in my opinion, it might just trigger a sell-off in Plex. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. But this is what they're planning for the summer expansion price-wise, where the limits for manufacturing stuff is no longer the amount of slots, but it's going to be the price that is going to increase the more is being built in a single system. It's an interesting idea. I don't think industrialists have to worry about this because of the price. That's just something that is going to be charged on the people buying the goods in the end. But it is definitely a drastic change, and I do think the overall economy is going to have quite a shakedown because of this. Anyways, that's it for this dev blog, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.